What's going on, gang? Welcome to the video. So today I wanted to talk about something that I really haven't talked about before, and that's how I actually come up with all the ideas to make these videos twice a week for the last 3 years. There's a lot of planning and research and writing and editing that's involved in all of this, so I wanted to pull back the curtain and let you know exactly how I do it. I'm also going to talk about a little bit how I'm able to make this my full-time job, because it is not easy. So if you're ready, please take 1.5 seconds, hit that like button just to let me know that you appreciate these behind the scenes videos. Okay, first, I need to cover the financial aspect for just a minute because it's important to sort of understand where I'm coming from. And yes, I do more sponsored videos than I would necessarily like, but there's a few reasons why. First of all, AdSense from YouTube is a never-ending source of confusion and frustration. So let me explain. YouTubers make money based on views, not subscribers. Now, the more subscribers you have tends to mean more views, but it doesn't guarantee it. Because over the last couple of months, views on my channel and YouTube as a whole are way down. I went from like 8 to 10,000 views on a brand new video in the first 24 hours down to like 2,000. And that affects my AdSense revenue significantly. And if you want to know how much it affects me, it's close to about a 60% reduction in what YouTube pays me per month. So let me break this down really quick so you can understand, and maybe you know this already, but here goes. YouTube pays by CPM, which translates to cost per mil or cost per 1,000 views. And that's before YouTube takes their cut. RPM, or revenue per 1,000, is actually what I make. Then I pay taxes on that. And I think it's important for you to understand all of this to help with some overall context. So here's a couple categories to consider, and then I'll talk about my creative process. Okay, so vlog and gaming channels typically see advertisers pay like $1 to $4 per CPM, right? So per 1,000 views. Beauty and lifestyle channels, which is kind of where my channel falls, will typically see $6 to $10 CPM. And then business and finance channels earn the highest at like $20 to $30 and higher in CPM. And I saw a video recently on a finance channel where this guy showed how much money he made on one video that had 2 million views. He posted that video 4 months ago, and it already had like 2.2 million views or something. His CPM was like $55, and his RPM was around 42, but he made $76,000 in 4 months on one video. And that's a whole different stratosphere. I mean, I can't even relate to numbers like that. I mean, it's great for him, but that's just a different level. I wouldn't even need sponsor support if I made anything near that number. Okay, so look, if you'd like me to pull the curtain all the way back and make a dedicated video on what YouTube actually pays me per year, leave me a comment and let me know. All right, so sorry for the long-winded start here, but I think it's still important, at least to those of you that are loyal and watch all of my videos, even if those videos sort of tank, because you guys are the real legends. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the creative process. And if you've noticed over the last couple of months, I've been trying to get a little more creative with my thumbnails and also how I integrate the ad reads in sponsored videos. I'm sort of trying to spice things up a little bit, hoping that some views will come back. So as far as the creative process, I got a lot of ideas that I keep on my phone and my computer. For example, I might read something or have a conversation with someone or hear something on a podcast, and that might spark a different perspective. And it's in those moments when I take notes. Also, sometimes if it's sponsored, the product itself sort of helps me create the video topic. For example, socks. I made a video last week about socks, but let's be honest, that's not a very exciting product, but it's something that all of us use. And so that in itself makes it important. So let's think about socks in terms of a video topic, right? Socks are part of your wardrobe foundation, a staple, a basic item that all of us have that we hardly ever think about until we need new ones. It's not sexy or glamorous, but it's a wardrobe basic essential for all of us. So there you go. That's your video topic, wardrobe basics. And then from there, you just think up a few other basic wardrobe fundamentals, and that's your video. And that's basically how my brain works in terms of coming up with video ideas. But then there's the planning and the research that's involved with other types of videos. Because for the record, I don't just dream up things to talk about, like in videos where it's like what women notice first about a man, right? There's several hours of research that goes into just finding out those key points and if they're even credible. Then once I feel like I've got a pretty solid list, then I start writing the script in a way that I can incorporate each one of those key points. Now, it's a lot more stressful than a lot of people realize, because if you think about it, Roughly every 3 days, I've got a brand new deadline that has to get done. And there's no calling in sick. There's no not posting the video because I don't feel like it. These are hard deadlines that I'm committed to. And they can get very stressful at times, especially when writer's block starts to creep in. These deadlines are one thing, but it's also the overall creative process that's probably the most exhausting and the most mentally draining. And trust me, I'm not complaining because I love doing this, and I like to think of myself as a pretty upbeat and positive guy, but I'm telling you, there are days where I'm impatient and just irritated at everything and super stressed out, and that probably makes me a little hard to be around sometimes. But try to look at it this way. Imagine having to write a 1,500 to 2,000 word article every couple days. Also imagine having to come up with the idea for those articles from scratch every single time. And then, if nobody reads your article, you don't get paid for the work and the research that went into making it. And now, because you didn't get paid, you've got to try to find ways to cut back on your monthly spending. As you know, stress is incredibly unhealthy, especially as we get older. And of course, there's a lot of different ways to manage your stress. And one of those ways is talking to someone and working through your stress. BetterHelp.com is sponsoring today's video because I believe we all need someone to talk to from time to time. So let me explain. BetterHelp is not a crisis line, and it's not a self-help line. This is professional counseling that's done securely online. BetterHelp.com assesses your needs and then matches you with your own licensed professional therapist. Once you sign up, you can start communicating in under 48 hours. You can log in anytime and send a message to your counselor, and you can also schedule weekly phone or video sessions. BetterHelp is also committed to quality therapeutic matches, so they make it very easy and free to change counselors if that's what you need. BetterHelp is also more affordable than traditional counseling, and financial aid is available. So if you're ready to take a step towards clearing out the stress in your life, click that first link down in the description to betterhelp.com/fashion and join the over 1 million people that are already taking charge of their mental health. And as a bonus, they're offering a special just for watching this video, so click that special link that I'll leave right down below in the description, betterhelp.com/fashion. Okay, so once I have the general topic, then I write the script. And if you didn't know, I write about 90% of my videos word for word and then read from a small teleprompter app on my phone. Now, sometimes I can just sort of wing it, but I kind of need help staying on topic, and then having a script works best for me. Now, I tend to write how I talk, so hopefully you can't tell that I'm reading. Now, writing out the entire video word for word does take me a lot longer, and I've tried using bullet points before and then sort of expand on each point, but I always struggle with that. Having a script allows me to deliver the exact point I'm trying to get across. Okay, once I have the video written, I drop it into my teleprompter app, connect my phone, and then of course start recording. Just really quick though on some of the gear that I use because it's pretty basic. I use a Canon 6D Mark II camera, and the camera's a couple years old, but when it first came out, it was the first full-frame DSLR with the flip-out screen, and that's exactly what I wanted. I use one light. It's the first generation Aperture 120D LED light with an old Rotolux 28-inch softbox I used to use for photos, and then I adapted it from an Elinchrom mount to a Bowens mount to be able to mount on the Aperture light. I've also got this rigged up boom arm that's always about to fall over because the grip arm is very heavy, but it has a Rode condenser mic that's just out of frame, right there, and all my audio is captured right into the camera. I do not use an external audio recorder because I just don't have time for that. Then of course I sit right here and talk to the camera one paragraph at a time, and I also record one paragraph at a time. Because say, for example, it takes me 45 minutes to get through the entire script, even with all the bloopers. Who wants to scrub through all that footage in one giant take just to find the good stuff? That's way too hard. Each paragraph is its own clip, and then once I get a good one with no bloopers, I'll record like 3 seconds of my hand or my arm right afterwards, so then when I go back to my computer to import the files from the card, I know that the clips I want all come right before the hand. Everything else is trash. Okay, then we get into editing. Now, I have an editor that I've been using for the last couple of months, and that's amazing, but I still edit maybe 30% of my own stuff, of course, depending on the video. But I also finish the video with some B-roll and some of the visual assets that you see. For music and sound effects, I pay monthly for Epidemic Sound to avoid any copyright issues. And then for the stock images, you see, I'll use either unsplash.com for their free stuff, but they're just not that great. Photodune.com is part of Envato, and I buy photo and video assets from there to use in my videos if I feel like I need to. I also pay for the Canva membership, and I use some of their stock images as well. and then I use Photoshop and Canva to create my thumbnails. Now, once the edit is done, then I upload it to YouTube as unlisted and then send the link to my manager so the brand can approve it or if they need to ask for any changes. The brand needs to see and approve my videos at least 48 hours before the video goes live on the date they booked. So I'm constantly working ahead, and I'm trying to get to the point where I'm like a solid month ahead, but sometimes I'm like waiting for product to come in or life happens and I can't get that far ahead. But that's the goal that I'm trying to reach right now. I'm usually about 2 weeks ahead, but I'm trying to get to 4 weeks. Okay, now once the video is approved, I schedule it through the back end of YouTube for 4 a.m. Pacific time on that particular day. And then on those days when I have videos published, I try my best to make time throughout that day to respond to comments because that's always something that's been very important to me. I can remember close to 10 years ago, I commented on one of Aaron Marino's videos and he responded to it in a personal way. And that was a very small thing, but it made me feel like I was seen. And as a fan, that felt kind of cool. So please take 1.5 seconds to hit that like button because it does help more people see these videos. And if you made it this far, comment and let me know your thoughts on how I make these videos. Like, did you learn anything? I want to know. So until next time, my friends, thank you for watching, live well, and I'll see you in the next one.